Hey guys, Tyler from Righteous Gaming here. Thanks for taking time to watch my video. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Our next goal is to get 6,500 subscribers. So today we're going to talk about my time and my experience at the U.S. Nationals in Vegas. I know it's been a couple weeks since the event happened, but life's been pretty busy around here. I want to give you guys a quick update. My wife is expecting a baby any day now, and so over the past couple of weeks, we've been preparing the house, cleaning up the house, getting everything ready for a new baby to come. So we just had our first ultrasound, our most recent ultrasound last week, and the baby's over 7 pounds already. So that's exciting, but also she's going to come any day now, and so. We're just now getting around to the video. I still wanted to recap the event for you guys. I want to talk to you about the event. I didn't get a chance to uh, make any videos while I was there because we were swamped all weekend. And so in the future, I'm going to try to get more videos out. I'm trying to get those walkthrough videos, those tour videos. You guys seem to like the one from Taiwan. And so for the next event, I'll try to get that done. Yeah, we were just busy all week. We've been to 12 callings so far, and this ranks number 3 out of 12. With it being on release weekend and being a lot of people there, being U.S. Nationals, it was kind of just the perfect storm for just to get swamped all weekend. So it was very exciting. I love those types of events. And I love seeing all you guys. We got to see a lot of people that we've been seeing at previous events. It was the first U.S. calling since January, actually. So it'd been 3 to 4 months before we'd had since we had a calling, and so it was a great time. We had a great time seeing everyone, and so I wanted to talk about the weekend still, how it went. I wanted to review release weekend events, talk about how those go, and then wanted to talk about what's next for Righteous Gaming. And so let's recap High Seas. We sold a ton of High Seas cards. We were able to get boxes. I ended up buying my boxes from Star City Games. I paid MSRP for all my boxes, so I don't have distribution access, so I didn't get them from a distributor or anything. So I paid $120 for each of my boxes that I opened, because I just wanted to get singles for the players. People were having a hard time getting singles. Stores are having a hard time getting singles, and so I didn't care how I got boxes. I just want to get boxes. My normal hookups through stores that I usually go to got very little boxes. I got probably 20 boxes from different stores that I work with, and so I just went ahead, bit the bullet, and bought a bunch of boxes at MSRP so that I could stock the store and provide players with the singles that they need for the tournament. So even if we just broke even on the boxes, it's happy to do it. I wanted to get the singles in the hands of players. So a lot of the staples were selling out. Hot cards were Everbloom Life was a hot card. Jolly Bludger, Lone Shark, Give No Quarter was a hot card. It rose in price probably 50% over the weekend. The Conqueror, the High Seas, was fluctuating. It started at 30, went up to 60, went down to 40, went up to 50, all over the course of 3 days. So you really have to monitor those prices when you're selling cards. And then the Fable was hot all weekend. We started off selling it for $250, ended up selling it for $350 by the time Sunday hit, because it's just so hot. And so it's very exciting. Release weekend events excite me. I work well under pressure. I work well under stress, and so the fact that prices are fluctuating all the time, and you don't know when to buy and sell, and it's kind of like just a live stock market, honestly, when you're vending release weekend events, because of the fluctuation in prices on TCG Player, prices at the events. Someone top eights the calling, a top eight's national with a certain hero, a certain card, and all of a sudden that card doubles in price, and you're like, man, do I have any left, or I need to go buy more, or raise my price on them. There's a lot going on. It's very exciting. It's my first time having the Metal Fab tokens at the booth. They sold really well. We had the exclusive one for Vegas, the American flag, and the pirate skull on it. I think we made about 500 of them, and we sold out in 3 hours, which is actually really good. I'm glad it took 3 hours, because in the past, these Metal Fab tokens have sold within 30 minutes, and I even heard reports of sometimes there being a line for them, and then everyone in line not even getting one. And so we put a 2 per person limit on it, which I think worked really well. Didn't hear any complaints about it, and allowed the tokens to last for a solid 3 hours. So everyone that wanted one was able to get one at the event as long as they were there Friday morning. And so it was a great time, and we'll be having more exclusive metal fab tokens in the future, and I'm pretty excited about that. About working with them. Great people that run it. Great product. And so if you see me at future events, special events, ask about the exclusive token. Get there early. Come to the booth first thing on Friday morning, and maybe we'll have some exclusive token to sell that weekend. Playmats were super hot. I brought, so funny story. I wanted to bring a ton of playmats. I have a ton of playmats right now. I probably have 150, 200 playmats right now, and I wanted to bring a lot of them. So as my wife and I were packing our bags for the event, I packed a check bag and I put all the playmats in the bag that I wanted to bring for the event. Then I weighed it on the scale, and it was 70 pounds. 70 pounds of playmats is what I wanted to bring. And so we're like, well, went back through the stack. We had to cut a bunch of them. Not literally, obviously, but we had to put a bunch of them aside, and we ended up bringing 30 to 40 mats, about 30 pounds of mats roughly, and so there's room for other stuff in the bag. But we sold all of them. We sold all 30 to 40 mats that we brought for the weekend, except two. All the mats but two. And we even sold mats that I picked up on for the weekend. We sold those. I had a couple friends that had a handful of mats they wanted to sell. They threw them out there. Those play mats sold. Now, it was ridiculous, and so I was not expecting playmats to be that hot. Playmats are very hot right now. LSS's decision to keep playmats out of armory kits was a great decision. Keeping them exclusive to events, to like ProQuest, Road to Nationals, higher level events has been great for the playmat market. And so playmats are super hot right now. Everyone wants one, especially when you get to get some of the exclusive ones at the events and take them to other events. Man, they just sell really well. And so I think I brought like 10 Chart the High Seas playmats with me from Taiwan, and they all sold within a few hours. They were all gone on Friday, and so it was crazy. Playmat market is super hot right now. Great job to LSS, because in the past, if you remember a couple of years ago, if you were playing, players would have 30, 40 playmats, and people would just be overrun with playmats. And now I feel like playmats are special. People are excited about them again. They're really cool. And so great job LSS for the playmat market right now. And and if I'll be at Worlds, if you guys, with a bunch of free playmats. So if you are a new player, if you have new players getting into the game, we're taking some free playmats for new players at Worlds. If new players need any there. So now let's review release weekend events. So this has been a hot topic in the Flesh and Blood community. A lot of people don't like release weekend events. I heard a lot of complaints from Nationals players that how are they going to get their cards? How are they going to prepare? 2 weeks to prepare for Nationals didn't seem like a lot of time for them. The calling was a limited calling, so that is a bit different. And so like, what do they do? What does LSS do? What are they going to do about it in the future? My personal opinions, I don't think it was that bad, honestly. I heard a lot of complaining from players leading up to the event, but like at the event, I didn't really hear any complaining from players. It's really cool to have a release weekend event. The first time most of the players get to play with the cards, first major tournament of the season, and the new set's legal, and so everyone gets to see what's hot, what the meta is like. I mean, we saw some like new heroes show up. We saw some heroes that hadn't been super meta before. I mean, Verdance made won Nationals and made a complete surprise to everyone. I don't think anyone picked Verdance to win Nationals. Gravy Bones made a nice splash. Azalea came back. The meta is very diverse right now, and I think that's very exciting, especially for a release weekend event. The players that practiced and grinded and prepared got rewarded, and so I just like it's a different vibe. Now, I do understand the fact that a lot of players travel to Nationals like this. Like some players, this is their only time that they travel to an event every year. They qualify to Nationals through their local stores, Road to Nationals, and then they may only have enough time off or money or room in their schedule to go to one major event a year. Nationals is it, you know. And so I get the sentiment from those players, and so um, I they actually LSS asked me as a vendor, and they said, what do you think? You know, what are you hearing from players? What are you hearing from the community? And I said, a lot of people like the release weekend events. A lot of people like the callings. I think the nationals, I told them, was maybe a step too far, because nationals is like the biggest event of the year for some people. I would put it, U.S. nationals is not 100% comparable, but it's like a tier 4 event. It's like a pro tour, um, in the sense that some people clear their schedules to attend that event. Like that may be people's one event a year. And so I said in the future, maybe not do nationals on release weekend, but the callings on a release weekend is great. You know, people don't have to go to callings. It's not like the calling is like the pinnacle crown jewel of someone's travel for the year, you know. And so I said maybe keep nationals off of release weekend, but callings I think is great. You know, people loved the Memphis double calling. There's a sealed calling, there's a CC calling, so the players that want to play the sealed set can do that. People who want to grind CC before the set releases can do that as well. So I said, yeah, keep callings on release weekend, but maybe move Nats, a premier event, a couple of weeks after release weekend would be great in the future. So we'll see. They said they take that into consideration, and so we'll see what happens in the future. But I mean, world premieres are great, with the sealed calling. You know, first time anyone gets to play the set, and then release weekend having a sealed calling as well, or even a CC calling or CC battle harden. I think great weekends for players because it's the first time anyone can see the set, or anyone can play and buy the set from stores or from vendors. And so yeah, that's just my feedback. But the excitement to play in open high seas was just like off the chart. Boxes from vendors were selling out. All the sealed events for the weekend sold out by like Saturday, even through the events on Sunday. It was flying off the prize wall. They had treasure packs on the prize wall. They had treasure pack events. They had promo events. Overall, I think the weekend was a very big success, for LSS, for the players, for the community. And I loved it. I loved going and mix it with Vegas, you know, like we're in a casino. My favorite part of the weekend is like when the event's over, you know, walking around the casino. You just see like all your friends. You can see all the people from the Flesh and Blood community, at different tables, playing slots, playing craps, blackjack, roulette, whatever. It's a really cool vibe and community. You know, I walk around the casino hall at night after the event, and I see these people playing, say hi to them. See these people playing, say hi to them. People coming up to me while I'm playing craps, saying hi to me. You know, just chit chatting, just talking about the week, talking about life, and so it gives you Vegas is awesome because it gives you something to do outside of just the Flesh and Blood event. And so I hope that we get more Vegas events. I'd love to go to Vegas once a year for Flesh and Blood. That'd be very exciting. Love for it to be a staple. Maybe not nationals every year, but at least a calling every year in Vegas would be awesome, in my opinion. But yeah, the event ran smoothly. Star City Games did a good job with the event. And I think that is exactly what nationals needed. And so, like I do with every recap video, I want to show some of my cool pickups for the weekend. So first, one of my favorite cards that came out of High Seas. I'm not a huge collector. You guys know that I don't like to collect a ton of cards. But I do really like the amulets from High Seas. I like the design of them. I like the marvels on them. I like that they're super rare, that there's only 100 of them. I picked up a diamond amulet marvel. And so this was my favorite pickup for the weekend that I bought. This is the only card I really bought for myself, actually. I said, well, I'll get one amulet, and I said if I get a good deal on one, then I'll buy it. And Diamond Amulet was actually my favorite amulet. It's not only the most playable, but I think it's really pretty. And so I was able to buy one for the weekend. Only amulet I actually bought at the booth. And so that's going to my personal collection. I like that card. Second, I got a playset of yellow Ghostly Visit promos. So if you guys don't know the story about the Ghostly Visit promos, it's a fun story. These were a Channel Fireball exclusive, and not a ton made it to market for whatever reason. And so I got a play set of them. May keep them, may sell them. I don't know. Shadow might be coming soon. We'll see. But yeah, this is the first time I've actually owned any of the Ghostly Visit promos, and even for buying them collections, they're just like really rare. And so, very cool pickup. You don't see those every day. The last card that I wanted to show off, last video in Taiwan, I showed off a Marvel Rampart of the Ram's Head card. You know, they misprinted the original Rampart of the Ram's Head. They gave it 1 base block instead of 0 base block out of one of the mastery packs in Japanese print, and so they offered a redemption program. You could trade in your misprinted Ram's Head, and you could get the Marvel version for free. So they offered that at a few events, and so I got one of the Marvel versions, which are pretty rare when I went to Taiwan. But in Vegas, I actually got one of the misprinted ones with 1 block. And so if you pay 1, it becomes 2 block. Obviously, it doesn't play that way, but since was a redemption card, you turn it and you get your Marvel. These are pretty rare too, and so I was actually very surprised that I was able to get one in Vegas, because these were Japanese language cards, but I ended up getting one, and so now I have the Marvel and the misprinted card. So that completes my set of those. Like I said, I don't like to collect a whole lot, but it is a misprinted card. It's an oddity, and so I liked that I grabbed one of those, and so right back-to-back events. It's pretty cool. And finally, I'm a big sleeve collector, and so I like collecting different sleeves that come on cards. If I see a cool sleeve, a funny sleeve, and that comes on a card, I like to pull it off and put it in my funny sleeve collection. So the players love to create custom sleeves, funny sleeves, and so the one that I picked up in Vegas is a picture of a judge, and he's approaching a bird that is in a venue. I think this was the Chicago Calling. It says, "Do you have a minute to talk about Flesh and Blood?" So the judge is trying to entice the bird to play Flesh and Blood. And I think that's funny, because sometimes in the event halls, we do get birds, and you're just like doing your own thing, and all of a sudden you see a bird fly next to you. You know, it's wild. So I thought that was a pretty funny sleeve for whoever created that. So that goes into my sleeve collection. Another thing I want to talk about is Trevor, the organized play manager for LSS, before the U.S. Nationals fired. I don't know if all the players heard, understood, or if they even announced it anywhere online, but they announced that the organized play program for next year is going to be significantly larger. So last year to this year, it didn't grow as much, but this year to next year is going to grow significantly larger, increasing the amount of money that they're giving out, and increasing the number of events. And so Trevor announced that there's going to be a calling, at least in the Americas region, which is Canada, US, Latin America, South America, every month. And so far this year, we've had 2. We've had one in January, Memphis, and we've had Vegas Nats in June, and then we have one in Kansas City, and then followed by Worlds in Seattle, I believe. So there's 5, and then you got Brazil, got 1, 6, and then you got Canada got world premiere, so 7. So 7 this year. So next year is going to be at least 12 in the Americas, and so probably 1, maybe 2 in Canada, another 1 in Brazil, I'm assuming, and then 9 to 10 in the U.S. That's pretty exciting. You know, I love traveling to these events, love vending these events. You know, going a month or 2 without an event in the U.S. I just like to see people. I like to be out there, slinging cardboard, being at events, being with you guys, and so that's really exciting to me. I came home. I talked to my wife. I said, "Hey, wife, guess what?" Well, Marissa, I don't call her wife. I call her Marissa. I say, "Hey, Marissa, guess what? Get to travel a lot more next year." You know, and I said, maybe you can too. Maybe you can come along once the baby's finally here. She can start traveling again to events, because she's gone to a couple events with me, and so that's pretty exciting. I'm excited. They're gonna up their amount of events they're running. They're going to up the callings, and already talking with some of the partners that they're working with to host these callings. They're pretty excited about all this as well. And so I think next year is going to be a memorable year for Flesh and Blood. Flesh and Blood's taking a step up next year in its spot and its relevancy within the TCG market. So now is a great time to get into Flesh and Blood. Great time to start playing the game and seeing the world, which is what they really push. And so, yeah, plan to go to more events next year. And yeah, we'll see you there. So, finally, if you guys didn't know, I started sponsoring the Card Guys, Flesh and Blood team. And so if you saw them this week, you saw my logo on their jerseys. And so I want to shout out a couple guys from the Card Guys, and then a couple guys from my own team that did well this week. And so I wanted to shout out Andrew Cook, Nationals top 8, back-to-back big events, top 8ing. He top 8 in London and top 8 here. Did a great job. And then Aaron Grace, who top 32 at Nationals. Both these players are from the Card Guys. And then I want to shout out Jacob Lance, top 4 U.S. Nationals. He wasn't officially on my team when he top 8'd, but we just added him to our team this past week. And so big pickup for Team Righteous Gaming. Big pickup for our crew. He's been a local to a lot of our players. And he just decided, I top 8 Nationals and might as well join a team while I'm at it. And so it's funny, he top 8 Nationals. I said, Jacob, you're going to get some stream games. Here's my logo. I gave him one of my stickers. And so he put it right on his arm. So you can see on the top 4 game that my logo is actually on his arm like a tattoo. It was great. But picked him up. And then Bryce Morgan, top 8'd the Battle Harden, top 4'd the Battle Harden on Kano. On Sunday. So big shout out to Bryce Morgan. Second year in a row he top 8'd the Battle Harden at Nationals. Last year he won the Battle Harden at Nationals. So really proud of him for his success there. So we had a good weekend. Team Righteous Gaming. The next events that we'll be at that we'll be vending is we're taking 2 months off right now. So because we got a baby due any day now. And so we're taking a couple months off, so I'm not traveling, so I'm staying home with the baby. But our next event will be in Auckland. We're doing the Auckland double calling, the Welcome to Wraith and Arcane Rising events there. So that'll be in mid-August. And then also that's also the release weekend of the Guardian Mastery set. And then we're also confirmed to be a vendor at the Kansas City calling in August the next week as well. So back-to-back weekends. I'm very excited to go to Kansas City because I'm from Kansas originally. I've lived in Kansas City about 5 years, and big Chiefs, big Royals fan, big Kansas City barbecue fan. So I'm very, very excited to go to Kansas City and be a vendor, see a bunch of friends, old friends, and get to bring some of the people that I've met while playing Flesh and Blood along to Kansas City, show them what real barbecue tastes like. Not this fake crap we have in North Carolina, but real Kansas City barbecue. So that's pretty exciting. And then I'm hoping to also get invited to World Premiere Montreal. We'll know that in 2 or 3 weeks. Next week is probably when we'll get the event announcement because they announced that July 1st is likely going to be the announcement for the next set. And so then shortly after, we'll get the World Premiere announcement. I'll be able to apply to that event. So hopefully we'll be at the World Premiere Montreal as well. But yeah, I just wanted to lastly I wanted to say thank you for everyone who stopped by the booth, who supported the booth, who bought cards, sold cards, traded cards. I love going to all these events because I get compliments all the time from people coming to the booth and saying, hey, I loved your videos. I follow you on X. I follow you on YouTube and like your videos, and it just means a lot to me. Sometimes as a person doing videos, especially, I'm not used to doing a lot of videos. I'm not very a techie person. My confidence isn't super high on videos, and so oftentimes when I feel like, hey, I don't really want to do videos right now, you guys coming to me at booths and saying those nice words that you have for me, it really makes a difference, and it really keeps me going. And so I just wanted to say thank you for everyone who said hi this weekend. Thanks for everyone who's active in our Discord community, and who chooses to shop with our booth at events. It just really makes my day. So as you know, Righteous Gaming is my wife and I. We're online only currently. We're working to open up a physical store, hopefully in the next 3 to 5 years in the Charlotte area. Anytime you shop with us, anytime you buy from us, you're helping me support my dream, helping me provide for my family. And I still look back on these past few months, and it's crazy. I never thought I'd be able to be a vendor at some of these shows, and be out there selling cards. But LSS has welcomed me into to vending, and I feel really grateful. And I feel special that I'm able to um, get out there and sell cards and make a living doing what I love, providing cards for the community. And so, thanks to everyone for saying hi at the event. I'm excited to see you guys again. Hopefully in Kansas City, for the Americans, and if not Worlds, hopefully be at Worlds in Philadelphia this year. And so that'll be a great event. If you go to one event the rest of the year, go to Worlds, go to Philadelphia. Worlds is truly special. It's different than every other event. The excitement level is high. Everyone makes it a point to go to Worlds. So if you can only go to one more event, go to Worlds. It'll be worth your time, and we'd love to see you there. So thanks again for all the support, guys. If you need anything, have any questions, you can always reach out to me. Always message me on Discord, at Righteous Gaming, and yeah, I'm here for you guys. And so if you need anything, let me know. But until I see you again, I'm Tyler from Righteous Gaming. Thanks for watching my channel.